Hi folks, this is a quick introduction to this two-part video. In the first part of the video, I'm going to show you my recent attempt to find an Acadian flycatcher, which is an uncommon species here in northern Massachusetts where I live. Then in the second part of the video, I'm going to bring you back here and we're going to go through some interesting earlier sightings from my channel in order to bring my channel list up to date, as I'll explain. Hi everyone, I'm in the Middlesex Fells area of Massachusetts. Not far from my house, not far from my home patch, but it's not an area that I bird all that often. I'm here because an Acadian flycatcher has been reported here over the past couple of days. That's an unusual species for Middlesex County, and in fact, it's a bird I don't have on my Massachusetts state list, so I'm quite interested in seeing it. I'm pretty optimistic because the reports have been saying that the bird is calling actively and flitting around this one small pond. So if I can just find that pond, I feel like I'm going to be in pretty good shape to get this bird. So let's see how it goes. Okay, that was really cool. As you can see, I got some good footage of the bird. Found it right away. As soon as I approached this pond, I could hear the bird calling already. So it's really hard to imagine a more cooperative little bird than that Acadian flycatcher. It was right where it was supposed to be, right where it had been hanging out, and it was flitting around and went out to some pretty open perches and let me get some video, as you saw. So that was really cool. So that's a new state bird for me from Massachusetts. I'm excited about that, and I think I'll just wrap this short video up here. Thanks very much for watching. Okay, well, seeing that Acadian flycatcher was really cool. So now I'm back with the second part of this video, which is going to be a little recap of some earlier sightings from my channel. So one thing I want to do with this channel is to keep a running total of all the birds that I show on the channel, kind of a channel life list. Whenever I show a species that I've never shown before on the channel, an updated count will appear on the screen next to my channel logo, as it just did with the Acadian flycatcher. Let me just give you some quick background on this channel. In March of this year, I basically launched this channel by starting a home patch big year that I call my little big year. And over the course of the next 8 videos, I got that home patch count up to a little over 100 species. But then my 9th video, which is the video right before the one you're watching right now, I went to a different location. So of course, the birds I saw there wouldn't count towards my home patch big year. So with that video, I started keeping a separate channel count, like I was just explaining. So that worked out fine, but it did create sort of a housekeeping issue, which was kind of bothering me. And that is that I had actually posted several short videos to my channel before this year. Those videos were just short 1 to 2 minute video clips of individual birds without me showing my face or even any narration. But I don't want to just ignore those early videos in terms of my overall channel list for 2 reasons. First, there's actually some really interesting sightings in those early videos that I think you'll enjoy seeing and hearing about. Second, some of those early videos, even though they're just short clips, actually got a surprising number of views. And that provided me some encouragement to more officially launch this channel with videos where I show my face and have narration and all of that. Okay, so here's the deal. I have selected just 7 of those early video clips, and I'm going to go through them quickly with you right now, and we're going to add those 7 birds to my channel list that way. So let's get right into it, as we say on YouTube. The first sighting is this Louisiana water thrush from back in April of 2018. This is a type of warbler, and it's actually one of the less common and harder to find warblers in Massachusetts. This is actually one of the first birds that I ever videoed, and I remember how excited and happy I was at being able to hear the bird singing while I was looking at it. Number 2 is a black-throated sparrow that I saw in the California desert in 2019 while I was on a birding trip with my father. I got a lot of great bird photos on that trip, but I wasn't thinking much about taking videos at that point, unfortunately. This is a really handsome sparrow, and whenever I see this video clip, it really brings back great memories of that trip. Coming back to Massachusetts for bird number 3, we have this tropical kingbird, which had wandered quite a long distance away from its normal range of Mexico and the southern tip of Texas. This is one of the rarest birds that I've ever seen in Massachusetts, and the video turned out nicely, I think, although the bird never vocalized at all. So these short video clips that I had been posting on YouTube had been getting about 100 views or so up to this point. But then when I published this next video of a Vesper sparrow, it ended up getting over 4,000 views. It's a nice video, but I didn't think it was necessarily much better than the other videos, so I guess the success can just be chalked up to the randomness of the YouTube algorithm. Like I mentioned before, it was encouraging in that it sort of indicated that there's a lot of people out there who like to look at bird videos, which is great. Next up is a very special sighting, which is this ABA Code 4 barnacle goose, which showed up at Horn Pond in Massachusetts, otherwise known as my home patch. ABA Code 4 means that this species shows up somewhere in the US or Canada at a rate of only about once per year at best. So to see it and film it right here on my home patch was extremely exciting for me and for many other local birders, as you can imagine. Moving on to number 6, we have another nice sighting from my home patch, which is this least bittern, which I was able to film feeding out in the open. Least bitterns are fairly common and widespread birds, but they're secretive and hard to see, and when you do see them, it tends to be sort of poor looks into thick reeds, so this was definitely a treat. And then for the 7th and final bird that we're going to retroactively add to the channel list, we have a really fun sighting from Utah, of all places, of a flock of chukars, which is a type of partridge. Chukars are an introduced species that have been established in various places in the western United States for about 100 years. I was in Utah for a work-related trip, by the way, and I was able to extend my trip by a couple of days to do some birding. That's something I've been able to do quite a few times over the years, and it has been great for my life list. One of the fun things about this video is that as you watch, more and more of the chukars appear on this rock. I believe there are actually about a dozen birds in this flock. This was another short video that ended up getting quite a few views, almost as many as the Vesper Sparrow. All right, that brings the channel list up to date. All additions to the channel list from this point forward are going to have to be new sightings. No more living in the past. That wraps up this video, for real this time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.